Republican agenda.
Media big shot. It's a convention. It's a convention.
Okay.
You want substance in a
political convention, not a policy meeting.
Right.
I would agree with everything John said. They did lack stuff. You would forget that we were in a 6-year war that's been unpopular, that we find the economic issues.
Right?
You never heard any of that. But in terms of the hand they were dealt, I thought they played it about as well as they could. When you consider the imagery and all, it was about as good as it could be.
I got to tell you then, this is a split decision. It really is. Of all the people who've done this morning, half think it was really good for the Republicans, other half not so good. A split decision. Let's talk about the Dan Baltz article in the Washington Post.
I'm looking at it right
this
now.
Vetting
this
process is fairly amazing.
And this is completely in contrast to a conversation I had yesterday with somebody very high up in the McCain campaign who said she was extensively vetted.
Yes.
But Heilman, give us a kind of a rundown of what we've learned here, including the fact that the situation with her daughter was not revealed.
Well, I think the two key points in this piece are that Sarah Palin did not sit down with Arthur Culverhouse, the guy who ran the vetting process for John McCain, until last Wednesday in Arizona, which was the day before John McCain chose her. That's when she sat down. They've been asserting for a few days that she had a full vet, she had a full conversation with Culverhouse, and it's true. But it only happened 24 hours before she was picked. That's one point. And the second point is that's when she first revealed that she had a pregnant daughter. And I want to actually just say something about how different this was from the full vets that they gave to these other people. I know of 3 candidates who were fully vetted, and in each of those cases, they were asked for documents before they met Culverhouse. They then met Culverhouse. They were then asked for documents after they met Culverhouse, and then told that they might be asked for more documents. How does that compare to a 24-hour before selection quickie vet, which is what Dan Baltz is alleging in the Washington Post?
John Heilman, it's looking like history is going to show that John McCain wanted to select Joe Lieberman. On Sunday, Charlie Black got him off of that selection. And so then everything had been blown up. This had been McCain's campaign all along. Suddenly, they had to look for somebody else.
You're like David Halberstam. You're doing history in real time.
Real time.
Yeah. Look, I think
the reckoning, my man.
We cannot turn the details of the vet into a proxy investigation of her qualifications. That's what's more important. Is she qualified or not? But the fact that they have not been fully forthcoming about the vet, the fact that it clearly we now know, thanks to Dan Baltz and the Washington Post, that this was done at the last minute, raises questions that should be looked at about John McCain's judgment, what kind of president and decision maker he would be. And it does raise questions about whether they found out everything about her. They say they did, but doing it the way they did it, you can't have a lot of confidence.
Okay, you've drawn a chart to explain why the media frenzy.
My handwriting might not be good enough.
Yeah, okay.
Let's try.
Go ahead.
I'll read it out here. There are good reasons why this frenzy is going on, right? One thing is the country needs to know more about this woman. We don't know who she is. Second,
and she could be president someday.
She could be president. Second, is she qualified? That's an important thing for us to investigate. But there are 3 bad reasons. Because she could be president.
Right.
There are 3 bad reasons. One is the liberal press. I think the McCain campaign is right that people are going after her harder than they would go after a Democratic vice presidential nominee.
Seems that way.
2, I think there is sexism here.
Yes.
Some of these issues clearly relate to the fact that she's a woman. And finally, I think the press feels resentful that this was a surprise. Those are all bad reasons.